The pride of a nation lies squarely on how it takes care of its most vulnerable in the society. This far, we are looking at the efforts the government is really trying to step up with regards to looking after our senior citizens and all those under the vulnerable groups. This just comes barely days after Kenya hosted the third edition of the Social Protection Conference. So let's unpack some of the key developments that came from that particular conference and make sense of it so that you can get a deep understanding of what awaits you as a citizen of this country. My name is Richard Mwenjo. Indeed, an honor to have you on yet another informative edition of Business Glide, your number one show on matters public policy and economics at large. And with me, as usual, is Herman Manyora, East Africa's renowned public scholar. Today, donning shades, checked blazer. How are you, sir?
Wonderful.
Grateful for the rains?
Of course.
A telephone farmer, though?
No, serious farmer.
You rarely visit the village, though?
On a quarter an acre of land.
A quarter an acre?
Yeah.
What do you even plant on a quarter an acre? Real estate?
Subsistence farming.
Come on.
Yes.
Such a big name. Then the question that begs is, if you are this big guy in the society, you just have a quarter an acre, what happens to those who are demonstrating from Kibera? Where do they get their food from?
They will get. God will provide. He provides even for birds in the air. Yeah. God will provide.
But probably he's going to provide you also through the cash transfer program that is kicking in from 1st June. We've seen the president commit to disbursement of these funds to all those vulnerable groups, the cash stipend, even before the payment of salaries of public servants. That's how serious the president is. Do you find that, this is a call that has been long overdue and the president has given it the much seriousness it deserves, that they come first before any other person in this country?
It's a good thing, but it lacks seriousness.
How so?
It just lacks seriousness. If you have 100 people deserving that money, 70 years and above, 100 of them, and government is reaching maybe 20 of them, what is there to celebrate about that? So you start by saying, how do you get the 100 people on board? Then next, how much is good for them? How much can the country afford? Then only then can you talk about how to disperse. You see, we are climbing the tree from top.
From the top.
How can you climb from the top? You start by saying, we have 100 Kenyans over 70 years. The government is currently taking care of less than 20%, for example. How do we ensure all the 70, 100 of them are on board? Number two, how much money can we afford to give them? Number three, how do we disperse the money? Is it M-Pesa? Is it what? At what point? Yes.
By local administration?
The countries we admire approach their things with seriousness, which is what we lack in this country. Lack of seriousness. That we will never get anywhere.
You cannot achieve an entire, bucket of goals in one
It's a joke. Why do you want to celebrate paying 15 people out of 100 when you can actually pay 100? What is there to celebrate? It's a joke, and you are talking to international community.
But on resolving this in just one swap, say the case of the government has committed to paying all those community health workers and even volunteers, getting them now on a payroll. That is going to be done on just one swap. Don't you think it is a journey, but the government has already made tremendous success in some of them in terms of what they are committed to?
You know, what government needs in that arena is to hire professional workers. In a country like Kenya, we need more community health services, more preventive than curative. So I don't like this tokenism. This is tokenism. The government should hire and train and hire sufficient community health workers, period.
It could be tokenism.
Don't celebrate, we are having people, volunteers, now we can give them 2,000.
Yes, stipend, monthly stipend.
Rubbish. Hire, train and hire sufficient community health workers. Because increasingly, we are getting into the trap, the health trap, where a sizable majority of Kenyans are beginning to acquire lifestyle diseases that used to be diseases for the rich. Now they are right in the villages. You get what I'm saying?
I am.
So tokenism will not help us.
But then again,
And then donors come in. Oh, I hate this idea of donors. I hate it with all my
the
heart.
government must go into strategic partnerships with
No,
non-state
rubbish.
actors.
Rubbish. We don't need those partners. Let them go pack and go home.
No country is an island, sir.
We don't need those partnerships. We don't need partnerships. We need to do our own things. We have the resources to do our own things.
But even if you are to go the partnerships, we are doing so with high-profiling institutions, say the United Nations, the Amri Foundation, Melinda Gates.
No, those have their own interests. Let's not go there.
Serving humanity.
The idea I'm saying, you have introduced this idea, you want us to celebrate the stipend. I'm saying there's nothing to celebrate, because that's tokenism. It is within that global thinking that we can only move things with donor funding, donor support, donor ideas, stupid ideas brought to us here. But I'm saying we are capable of our own thinking. And we know a country like this should go more into community health than anything else. Let us train community health workers and hire them and pay them, give them salaries. Not this tokenism of stipend.
We already have enough, healthcare graduates from this country, but the thing that is out there in the public domain is the government is cash-strapped.
Which
it
cash
could be
strapped?
tokenism because they don't have...
Forget about that. We have enough money to steal, but not enough money to put on health.
It was evident.
Let us stop stealing public resources. And let's put those resources at the disposal of health experts to help us. Because very soon, everybody in this country will be a walking dead person.
No country steals from the sick.
Pardon?
Okay? No country has gone on record stealing from the sick.
But that's what we do. We are on record. We are on record. From Afya scandal to KEMSA scandal to everything. We steal from even mortuaries. We are useless people.
You don't say.
And we have to stop that. Tokenism will not help any country. Ideas from small white boys from Europe and where they bring ideas. You see people in seminars, workshops, celebrating in meetings because some small boy is talking about...
WHO from WHO.
Forget about it. We are people here who can think for this country and come up with solutions. And you don't even need money from somebody because the money is already there. It's more of ideas and thinking than resources from white boys and girls.
But then again, just to cushion the welfare of our senior citizens when they head over to retirement, what the president is really spearheading is increased contributions to the NHIF and also other social protection avenues such as NSSF. And this is one of the calls that has received major backlash. But the president is saying, you're giving us your money. We are going to account for it. It's not a tax. Why?
Let's begin with NHIF. If you want to solve health problems in this country, you don't use NHIF. You abolish NHIF. Ambia indeni nyumbani nyi wote.
You need an insurance.
All of you go home. Listen, you listen. NHIF go home, you are a fraud. You equip government hospitals with whatever they need to function. All the way from health workers, physical facilities, medicine, drugs, and other related things. And then every Kenyan walks there and gets free treatment and goes back home. It is possible. Even the money we are squandering on NHIF and everything, that money alone, and the money we give to counties and everything, that money is almost enough to provide Kenyans with free health care. Free in the word free. Unaingia ndani, unatibiwa, unatoka. Unaenda nyumbani. And why that is important? Because if you make this a business, that only those who can afford even that NHIF, the president is aware of what I'm saying, that 500 shillings may be very little to you. But there are Kenyans who cannot pay. The president is saying, let's put it to 300. But even then he must be told, even if you made it 50 shillings or 20, there are Kenyans who will not pay. So the only language a majority of the Kenyans would understand is walk into a health center, get treated and go home. Ultimately, some of the ailments that build up because people cannot access, you go there once, you are given to buy tablets, you buy for one day, hoping you get money for tomorrow, you get tomorrow, you buy, 3 more days, you have no money. You develop resistance to that drug. At the end of the day, many Kenyans have developed resistance to all lines of treatment. Finally, it becomes more expensive to treat these people. We spend more resources. So government cannot convince me that they want to achieve universal health coverage through NHIF, which is a fraud. Let them just give Kenyans. And you know, Mzungu alituachia all this infrastructure. King George Hospital, Kenyatta National Hospital. The spinal cord injury, Madari Hospital, those are referrals. And then provincial hospitals, all provinces. And then district hospitals. And then there were sub-county, sub-district hospitals. Nyambane, Nyamira, Vihiga, sub, you know those are sub. Yeah. And then every location had a health center. A dispensary. And then we had dispensaries. Then Moi came and helped us to put up Nyayo wards. We are almost sufficient in terms of the physical infrastructures. So what is the next phase? Health workers and equipping our hospital. And the Kenyans will just walk in free. The money we are spending now as a government, I've not done health economics, but I'm sure the money we are spending today is almost enough to provide free quality health care. Free. F-R-E-E. Capital letters. Unaingia nani na kutoka. Because even if you said from 500 to 300,
not all would afford.
Over 90% of Kenyans would not. Even if you said 100, over 60% would not. Even if you say 50 shillings.
The other competing.
The only language that people know is ingia nani free na kutoka. 100%.
But
sure enough. Even then there will be people who will not go to hospital. And that's how the community health workers come in. To move in the villages and say, no, this one don't, usipatie mtoto cough syrup, peleka ya hospitali. This one, no, this wound will become dangerous, go to hospital. No, let's help you, let's go there. To mobilize people and get them to get attention. And to ensure there are follow-ups. When you are suffering from TB or whatever it is and you are on drugs, there must be people to make a follow-up that you are on your drugs and the challenges you face. Some of these drugs require good eating. And this is where a country ought to go. But if we are going to rely on small white boys from where to come and give us ideas in stupid workshops and seminars and conferences, we will never get anywhere.
High-level summits.
So that is about NHIF. The other one was about NSSF. Because if you are saving 200 shillings, surely by the time you retire, I agree with the president. And Uganda here is a good example. What will you retire with? That money is too little. But the question that you must address yourself, where will you save pesa gani? You must be saving from something. The high levels of unemployment means the catchment is the number of people who can enroll on NSSF are few because of the high levels of unemployment. The high levels of unemployment also means high levels of dependency. And therefore, saving is not possible because you have so many people to take care of. Thirdly, your salaries are so low. How do you save from these salaries we give? Government's own figures on minimum wages will tell you what I'm saying is true. That the salaries are too low for somebody to save.
Basically peanuts?
Yeah, these are slave wages. How do you expect people to save from slave wages? How will they save?
But then again...
So government, I must advise government to begin paying people salaries. The beauty of paying people salaries is they also create employment through a number of factors, economic factors, including saving. Savings creates that chain of, borrowing at the banks and also investment and so forth. Saving also, huge salaries means you can also start your own small business. You have some disposable income. Good salaries also mean you are creating a pool of Kenyans with spending power. You get it? But if you are paying people these little peanuts, how do you expect them to save?
Then again, sir, for those who are saving but still have sort of worries on the money, on those charged to manage their funds, that to do with NSSF, would you suggest that probably it's high time NSSF rebrands? Because we are seeing little confidence, even from those who are contributing to the fund. We've seen management issues to do with the funds. It is also more like people don't find their funds to be in the right hands. Do you think NSSF, it's high time they rebrand, a change of management has been done, but still there's some sort of fear?
those who are fearing are justified to fear because of the history of NSSF.
Yeah, sure.
Where people squandered workers' money badly. But that's, to be fair to NSSF, they have streamlined their operations. NSSF of today is not the NSSF of 20 years ago. They have streamlined so much that your money that is due, you are paid almost immediately when you leave. And their monies are safe. Safe investments. NSSF of today is safe.
And what do you make of the trade union, of course, organization, whereby we've seen some employers not remitting, the funds to NSSF? A member, it's deducted from your salary, not remitted to NSSF. For the president, who is actually steering social protection, what do you think sort of disciplinary action should be taken against such employers?
It's not just NSSF. It is statutory deductions. It is NHIF. It is SACCO contributions. It is tax money. Many of the people within the government sector, parastatals, universities,
state corporations.
State corporations. They rarely have those debts, even pension. Part of it is the problem we are addressing with the counties, which is that the way monies are disbursed, the capitation, every month, people can't plan. So government must move away from this monthly capitation. Find a way of giving, if you are paying universities capitation, surely they should not be chasing treasury for salaries. That way a lot of bad things will go wrong. Give their money for a whole year, or at least half a year. That way they're able to plan and set aside money they have deducted. Because you see, you have deductions here for this month, and the salaries have come late. Before you think of doing checks to SACCOs, to KRA, the monies you've deducted from workers, the next salary is due. Your head is swelling. You are thinking about why you are paying salaries.
Another recurrent cycle.
You may even use a little of these deductions to offset a few of the things. So it is, I understand, I don't blame them.
You understand.
So the president must begin by doing two things. One, start a public service reform. But you see, again, look at the people he has put there in charge. Start a public service reform with the intention of streamlining certain things. But top on the list is to ensure Kenyans get salaries. Because this will have a ripple effect, and the public sector, private sector, will take cue from the government. So let's have Kenyans paid well. Then the saving thing will come automatically.
All right.
Yes.
There you have it from Herman Manyora. Many consider him, of course, a diary of an angry man, but he says just a patriot at heart who really wants the best for this country in terms of resource governance. It remains to be seen what the president will do and the efforts he will spearhead with regards to social protection, even as they have held the third conference of to touch on matters of social protection for electorate, especially those under the vulnerable groups. And that point takes us to the wrap of this conversation. Of course, more exciting editions coming on board every week, so stay tuned to this channel. Time for Fun of the Week. It is Abduba Bilal watching from Marsabit County.
Abduba Bilal.
Yeah.
Wonderful, Abduba Bilal.
And the entire family is watching.
Keep remaining part of us. Thank you.
All right, until next time, see you then. Up next on your screen is the Business Glide African Proverb of the Day.